It's there! Holy moly, this one's going to go big.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. For this video we're going to take a look at the machine here, which is Manic Money Monster by Reflex. It's a £70 AWP from, oh god, late 2008, 2009, I think, something like that. I had some of these around here in 2011. Originally started life, I believe, as a £35 jackpot machine and then got an upgrade to £70. I never saw one myself on a £35 jackpot. And the thing is, it's got a little bit of something on it. A couple of kind of rips. Opinion varies as to how much of a rip they actually are and to what's actually going on with this machine. And I will get into that. And hopefully we can kind of put it to rest in this video. It's been on my wanted list for a while, this one. If we just have a look over at Desert Island Fruits, you can see there I was asking for it in February of last year. I've been thinking about this one ever since the new era of fruit machine emulation started at the back end of 2016. That is the fella there. I was mistakenly thinking it was Scorpion 5. It isn't. It's actually Scorpion 4. Now, over at Desert Island Fruits, there is this thread here, started by Reg back in 2018. See there, interesting auctions, things for MFME, exactly what it sounds like. It's just people flagging up things of interest that we don't have the resources for, ROMs, artwork, all that sort of thing. It's quite an interesting long-running thread there, and occasionally something of interest crops up for a machine that someone's after, insofar as like me specifically being after Manic Money Monster. And what actually happened at the back end of last year was this guy here, Infection, who seems to do a very good job of keeping an eye on auctions and all that sort of thing based on machines that people are after, flagged up an auction on eBay, which was this auction here for the Manic Money Monster ROMs. So me and a fella called Slasher went halves on the ROMs, and they were sent to Slasher, and then it was Reg who got them dumped, and that then led us to this layout here, which has just been released, well, yesterday. As I make this video, we do now have a classic layout for it, which is this one here. It's been a work in progress for a little while now. I was a tester on this layout, and it's been quite a pig to get running. I have mentioned this before, you'd be surprised sometimes how much work, if you're not kind of familiar with the process, you might be surprised at just how much work sometimes goes into just getting a single set of ROMs running within the emulator. I think classic layout designers are kind of the unsung heroes in a little bit of a way when it comes to fruit machine emulation. It's kind of like the graft, it's the spade work, it's the real fundamental stuff without which a lot of, some of our DX designers are quite upfront about the fact that they kind of need the classic layouts to work from. So it's always worth giving a shout out to our classic layout designers. There are many of them on the scene, and there have been over the years, who do really good work in getting the ROMs up and running and getting a layout into a good, fully functional state. I've seen this one through several work-in-progress revisions, and it has come a long way, and there were a few hurdles along the way as well. It was released by Slasher, but as you can see there, he is giving a few thanks. Like I said, I just paid for half the ROMs, did some testing, also got the sound working properly. Reg there, who dumped the ROMs. We've had two, but see there was this looked like it was going to be a non-runner, or it wasn't going to run properly, because we had a horrible issue with the hopper erroring. Whenever you tried to collect a bank, it was just chucking an error. Few people had a go at it. It was actually Hit the Six there who actually managed to fix it. So without his efforts, this wouldn't have been a runner. Reg and Tommy C, I know Slasher was tearing his hair out over it as well, trying to get the hopper working, but we got there in the end and we got it fully working. See there, a few people there, Boulder Dash, Pillsbury Dolphin, Ian Duff for testing. Big J has done some work getting everything labelled up and getting all the feature names right, that for the bulbs and that, or the lamps rather, that kind of thing. we've used the real bands from Vectra 666 and, of course, Wizard for MFME. I'm just going through that list there because just to give you an idea of how much can go into just getting a single classic layout running. And this one has been in the works for weeks, literally for weeks now, and it has now finally been released. And the reason that I've been interested in this one, and I've been wanting to play it emulated, was because we had some of the real ones. We had 3 of them round here. Now, one of them disappeared very quickly, but 2 of them stayed on site for quite a while. And I've actually found there was a thread by this shifty looking twat here called Chop, who was asking back in December 2011, pretty much just asking for info, basically, over at the Jackpotty forums. That's what, just over 9 years ago now. And I had 3 of these things turn up round here. And it was I think there were still a few of these around in the UK, so it was still kind of current information to an extent. So nobody was going to kind of post out the whole thing out on the forums. This one here, and we'll get onto this, if it's dead, it will block at £4 all day long. There's a few little hints towards it there in that part. You can pause the video and have a read for it through it if you want to. There was a couple of one of the key points here that I will come to once we actually deal with the kind of trick itself is whether or not it's even a trick. Because what happened is someone PM'd me behind the scenes over at Jackpotty and told me what the kind of the rip or the trick on it was. And then I'd set to work. I mean, that was still in December of 2011, and I went off then and set about the 2 that were on site here, and I still remember the pubs that they were in as well. I brought them up here. There was one of them in this pub here, the Central, which is in the centre of Ramsey, literally just down the road from where I live. Closed down now. It closed for COVID last year during the lockdown and never reopened once the lockdown finished. So that place is shut now. But they had 2 fruit machines traditionally, and then they went to 1 fruit machine. And the fruit machine there was just in that bar area. In fact, I think that may even be the fruit machine there, because it was just against that interior wall. And that was the ladies' bogs there. So if you were playing the fruit machine in there, you proper look like a sad bastard just stood there by yourself playing the fruit machine, and any women who were in there would have to come past you to go to the toilet, thinking, wow, who's that sexy motherfucker by playing the fruit machine all by himself there. So there was one in the Central, and I did pretty well on that one. Certainly to start with, this is the thing, and I will get on to this, they clammed up. I don't think there were many people playing them full stop. I've talked before about how random machines took over on the Isle of Man. And this was the £70 era, was very much where random machines were starting to take over. The traditional fruit machines weren't getting a huge amount of play. And the problem was, once you got onto a machine, there was even, and I wasn't the only player around. I say player, I mean, I wasn't much of a player, but I had some methods, I suppose. And once machines were being kind of locked down by people who knew what they were doing, like so I didn't have them exclusively to myself, there was even less for the kind of casual punters, and I think they just started avoiding them. But there was one in there. There was a Manic money monster in there. So I had one in the Central and one in the Stanley that stayed on site whilst I had the method for quite a while. They were on site for about 3 or 4 months, I think. In fact, you can see there, the last post from me on the topic was on April 9th, 2012. And I got the method in December 2011. So I had them on site for 4 months. But towards the end, there was really nothing in them. I don't think anyone was playing them, or hardly anyone was playing them. I already was leaving them a week before I was visiting them, and even that was too long. And they can proper play funny buggers with you when they want to. The things, or the 2 little tricks that it's got on it, it kind of knows about both of them, so you can't really trap it in the traditional sense. It'll kind of give it you almost to an extent if it wants to. And what it is, I'll just tell you exactly what it is. See that feature second from the bottom there called Max the Monster? That one, if you get it off a super shot and the number on the high-low reel is 8 or more, that guarantees you the Manic Money Monster, which is like kind of like the top kind of mega streak on this thing. So that's the first one, getting Max the Monster on an 8 or above off a super shot. The other one is, and they've called this mega streak here, which it kind of isn't, because I mean, we traditionally think of mega streaks as being on the reels. This mega streak here, or what they've called mega streak, is up on the notes here, and you've got to fill in the 5 note values there. You can see it on the picture on the left hand side, and the way that you can, it is kind of a trap, I guess, is it doesn't see that you've got a 1 or a 12. So what you want to do is land on the 3rd note on a 1 or a 12 when you've got some shots. Can you see the shots here? There are notes in each of the shot zones. So the idea is you land on the 3rd note, you've got a 1 or a 12, you hit out your shots, you hope that it hits the 4th note, and it doesn't see that you've got a 1 or a 12, which is why it hits the 4th note, and then you've effectively got a no-lose gamble on the note to get the 5th note for the mega streak. I'll be honest with you, I haven't had any joy with that one. It doesn't seem to like it. But similarly, it won't let you have Max the Monster if it wants to either. And that was alluded to here by JG versus SG. So this bit here, from my experience, it'll block second up with a high number. It sees that. Now, just for clarity there, he's kind of talking slightly in code because this was out on the public forums and the machine was still out in the wild. So when he's talking about second up, he's talking about Max the Monster, and obviously a high number, he's talking about 8 or above. So from my experience, it'll block second up with a high number. It sees that. It also sees if you're on a money symbol on a 12 with shots. So again, that's what I was talking about there, landing on the 3rd note with a 1 or a 12 and using the shots. It also sees potential numbers on reels, and that's about nudging the reels down to fill in, because when you nudge numbers down during the feature, it fills in the cash trail there. So what he's basically saying is that the machine sees everything that's going on, and it'll only give it to you if it's kind of ready to give it to you. Now, my personal experience, because I played the 2 of them that I had, I mean, you can see there, I had them on site for like 4 months, and I played him a lot, and I felt that the Max the Monster was a little bit of a rip, because you could get a machine that was deadish, but sometimes it'd just let you grab a cheeky Max the Monster long before I could possibly believe that it would let you force it out. So I was always in the camp that Max the Monster, if the machine didn't want to give it, it wouldn't give it, but it would let you have that, long before it would let you force it out. Now, one thing to note here is that this machine does block at £4, believe it or not. When it is dead, it will not offer more than £4. If you are offered £5, that means that the block is off and it is going to start gradually getting happier from there. And it's kind of in the zone where it will potentially let you have a Max the Monster on an 8. If it's blocking at £4, so if you have a couple of boards, if you're not seeing more than £4, walk away, because it can really, really cost. But if you're seeing £5 or above, generally the easiest way to do it is if you could just get offered £5 or more in the cash trail, or £5 or more in the cash pot there, then okay, it's sort of on the way. I found out that the 2 that I had around here that I played extensively, you wanted to be seeing better than that. I got involved, one of my final tussles with this thing was actually in the Stanley, and I remember it in there. It was shooting a £5, but that was it. It was letting me have a £5, but no more. And I got involved with it, and it really cost. I think I ended up taking a small loss on it, or maybe a tiny profit, but it was a really unfun experience. It was just avoiding it any way it could. And it was a pretty desperate machine to play when it was dead, and I got to the point where I wanted to be showing a 10 or better to really feel comfortable about getting involved with it. So with all that said, let's actually have a go at it. Now, I've got this thing in a pretty miserable mood here, so I'll show you what it's doing from the start. Now, the meters on this, by the way, if you're playing it in the emulator, the meters do work, but it's a bit of a funny one. It only updates the meters after you reload the layout back in and leave it for about a minute or two. So we're not going to have current session stats, so I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way in Notepad here. We're going to go in on a pound ago, which turns all of our values there red, so the top streak there is red, but this is not a poker face style or a beckons style. It can go past on red and still do a really funny amount like 80 or 85 or 90 or 95, so it does not guarantee anything it being red. I'm not even sure it makes any difference if it's red, but what I'm going to show you to start with, because I was playing this last night. Oh, so selector, and one thing, can you see here on this selector, it's only see there, it's only doing 50p. It's not doing more. Oh god, is it just going to go to 50p there? There, can you see there? It literally just crawled over to 50p. Now that, it might win this gamble, it might still give me a feature, that means it's on the bones of its arse. If it only gives you a 50p selector, and you are going to see this machine now is blocking. It might not even do £4. It can be even deader than £4 if it wants to. It can do a £2 block board. So there's our notes thing, by the way. If we had a 1 or a 12 on the high-low reel there, we've got 3 of the notes. The idea would be that you'd use some of your shots, you'd get a note, and then it just doesn't see that you've got a 1 or a 12 for the final gamble for the notes. I've got to be honest with you, I haven't had much success doing that, but all the shots, by the way, you can see there, I mean, we'll take a few. They're all shit. None of these are anything to write home about at all. All that stuff in the bottom zone, you can see there, it's all a load of crap. 1 win spin, 2 win spins. Little bit of extra. So nudges, it doesn't like, this is where, because you can fill in, it's not going to let me, if I gamble that now, if I go lower than a 10 for those nudges, it's going to fucking kill me, because on double numbers, that'll put me way past a £5, and this is blocking at £4. I am absolutely convinced that this is going to be blocking at £4. 1 win spin, 2 win spins, it's all a bit pathetic. So you can say, it don't matter, it's not going to give me any, that will probably kill me. High-low to go, and there we are. So you see there, in fact, was that actually a £2 block board? That may well have been a £2 block board. So I'm deliberately setting myself up against it here with a machine that's in a really foul mood to start. So we can exchange in there. I mean, I'll just show you again. So if you came across this in the wild, I usually gave it a couple of boards, because if it was only just about going over a £5, as I found out the hard way, if it was just about crawling up to a £5, yes, that meant the block was off. But on a shitty pub RTP of, 74, 76, maybe 78%, you were really up against it. Oh god, so we can slow that down to continue. You can see here it's offering me cockle. It can just give you all this crap. It's got reverse, which is handy, so that's a bonus. It just sends you back the other way, straight to a mystery. It didn't kill me, but I think that's going to be about it, I think. £2. So out in the wild, that would be about enough for me. 2 boards like that, and I'd be like, fuck it, I'm walking. So I've put a tenner in here. That would be, I wouldn't have even put that. Just 2 boards. Those 2 boards there would have had me running for the hills, because you wanted it to be. So let's put another tenner in it. You wanted it to be happier than that. Where I settled with this is I wanted to be seen about a tenner. Also a tenner on the cash pot, or a tenner on the cash trail there, fairly early doors. Within a board or 2, and that would give me some confidence that I was going to be able to get a Max the Monster out of it and see a profit. So what I'm probably going to do here, because we've seen it, but I'll just show you another board, because I'm pretty sure this will still be blocking. It's not over percentage, by the way, it's actually still. I've used autoplay and a bit of manual play. I spent some time on it last night. It's got a grand in. You can see there, it's gone up the next notch, if you will, to £3, but it's got about £1,000, just under £1,000 through it. Fucking hell. Just under £1,000 through it, and it's set to 84%, and I've got it to just about 80%. Fucking hell, that was a fun tenner, wasn't it? But the last thing I did was actually just take a jackpot out of it, and I had a Manic Money Monster streak out of it. Not too long before that, and that was quite deliberate on my part, just so that you can see the thing in a really shitty mood to get going with, just to show you how bad this could be. There is a happy RAM file. Big J spent a bit of time. I assume he's knocked it around in autoplay. There is in the download from Desert Island Fruits there is a happy RAM file, but it is ridiculously happy. It is so far off its tits. So we have at least got a super shot here. It's so far off its tits, it's not no use for this video, because I want to give a reasonably... Oh, we see here, so we've got... So that's kind of what we're after. Super shots there, so that would have done us there. On the number 9, if we'd have hit Max the Monster, that would have done us. That would have been a Manic Money Monster streak. It's not going to do it, because the block is still on. But there's just nothing in those zones, by the way. So let's have a look if there's any numbers up there. You see there's £4. I'm going to say that this is still blocking at £4. Shots are just an absolute fucking... It's not going to hit a note. You can't... The only thing it doesn't see is if you've got a 1 or a 12, it's not going to hit that note naturally. See, I mean, there's no numbers up there. Where's the next number? I mean, if it lets me get to that 1, that would mean that the block was off. And it can bin you out to a mystery, which is nasty. That's going to have me. You can see there, we're still on the £4 block board, so don't get your hopes up. When it's blocking at £4, it will not hit Max the Monster. It's just not going to happen. It won't do it. So, fucking hell. So let's just do this in fact, shall we just stick with it? I was going to kind of pause the video and bring you back when the block was off, but oh shit, I've gone slightly over there. I want to, because we're not going to have per session meters, so let me just change that. So we're 45 in now, and it's still blocking at £4. And this obviously makes it very, very clear. And bearing in mind that this is set to 84%, which is more generous than it would be in the pubs. This is why you run for the hills. And the person who PM'd me the trick over at Jackpotty did make it clear it's got to be offering a £5 or more. If it's offering a £5 or more, then you should be good with this. And as was said over at Jackpotty there, that guy said it will block all day at £4 if it's not in the mood for it. So that is a critical point. So we need to see that it's not going to do anything until we can get through £4. So we need to be seeing a £5 cash value. The shots are of no use to us. Where's that going to put us? One shot, no good. No. Where's our nearest number? Doesn't really matter, does it? Let's just see how long it takes for this block to come off. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, for fuck's sake. So, you can see here, it's a... Oh, that puts us... Oh, okay. So, we definitely got offered a £5 there. We were, so that cost us what? So that's basically, I think we just about used that £15. So, and obviously, so we can get in here. You can get in with 2 super shots here. In fact, you can see there, by the way, we'll just show it there. So you see there, we're nicely through. So there we are. So absolutely no doubt. Now this, by the way, this is about where I would want it to be. From the first board, or the first couple of boards, I'd want to be seeing something like this. But as you saw there, it cost £45 to get it to this point, so there would be no profit in this if you were actually doing it the whole way. So what was that? That was 43 quid for that was 43 quid for the block to come off. So let's just put another £5 in. He said, let's just put another £5 in, and then we'll just keep a record there. So that makes it very, very clear. Bearing in mind that, as far as I could tell, there was only ever 1 in this. You could try for an afterboard. It was sometimes worth trying for an afterboard. But after you'd had a Max the Monster out of it, sometimes there was maybe a £10 or £15 cash pot in it, something like that. But there was only ever 1. I certainly never had one round here that was happy enough to have 2 in it. So if you consider that your best case scenario is that you're going to get maybe a 90 or a 95 streak out of it. I'm just trying to think if I ever had that. I think maybe it could do 100 or 105, but I never had anything wildly dramatic out of it. So you've got to bear in mind what your profit potential is on this. And that makes it very, very clear why you need the block to be off pretty much from the start. If the block isn't off first, second board, you need to walk. You could probably make a case for walking after the first board, to be honest with you, if it's blocking at £4, but I used to give it a couple. So that's fine. I mean, we're happy now. We're kind of happy with that. So what we're looking out for now... Fucking hell. So theoretically, it can do both of the things now. It can do the little note trap, which I've got to be honest with you, I haven't been keeping an eye out for. I need to keep my eye out for that. It can do the note trap thing, or it can give us a max the monster on an 8 or more. So what we're looking to do is basically get onto the inner ring. We need to try and get those super shots with a number 8 or better on the high-low reel. We've got to get in first time. Come on. That would be the first. That's a mystery. Okay, extra there we are. It doesn't matter. I mean, the block's off. It's not like... Oh, fucking hell. Fucking hell. It's not like a beckon where it can do like fake redding, you know, where it can red up the top feature and then stop redding up the top feature. It's not like that. Once the block is off, the block is off. But, as you can see there, we're 70 in already. God, they're not much of a fucking value for money proposition fruit machines. I wonder why they fucking died, seriously. So we're now 70 in. Let's see what... And have we got this? I don't think there's a win there, is there? So we get a hole, maybe it'll give an so I didn't realise it had actually fucking held the trail at the top there. Stupid. So we're back in anyway. So if we land on the last note with a 1 or a 12, that's something. Oh, now there we are. This theoretically. So the idea now is it might be stupid enough to hit a note without realising that we've got a 1 or a 12. I haven't had any luck with this. Oh, it's done it. Stupid machine. So it has actually just done it there. You can see it actually behaved itself in the video. And now the stupid machine just did not look at what was on the high-low reel. And now we have the Mega Streak. So there we are. And there he's just hit a straight 70. No repeat. Well, that was quite good. Well, that's one of the two done. Hitting the straight. So that is actually... that's not bad. So we were basically 70 in for 70 out there. So that was a nice little... That came in quite nicely for us there, didn't it? So let's just see if we can... see if we can get back onto the board there. So we can exchange over even off a lose. I would very much expect now... I would very much expect the £4 block to be back on, of course. Let's just see what happens. Extra cash. I suspect we're going to be back to... I don't think it's got different pots on it or anything like that. It's all just coming out the same place. Oh, God, and we're back to a £2 block board. So we have actually seen... I'm quite impressed there because it wasn't playing ball on that last night at all, but it has just done it there. And you saw that. I mean, this is the thing. I do not believe for a second that machine was ready to be forced out for a mega streak, for a jackpot, you know, a £70 cash pot or anything like that. I still think, and I said this over at Jackpotty back in the day, that I think it is a little bit, that these two little things are a shortcut, that you can get a jackpot out of this thing when it wouldn't otherwise give you a jackpot. So that's pretty straightforward. That was 70 in, 70 out. And to be honest with you, considering it took 43 quid for the block to come off, I would consider that a pretty good result. So kind of got away with it there, frankly, to an extent that maybe we've been flattered a little bit by the percentage on this. But just shows you that we were only 25 quid away from the block coming off to actually managing to trap it on the notes. But I would not bank on that happening, to be honest with you. So what I'll do now, I'll get it going through the block again, and then we'll see if we can get a max the monster and make some cash on it. You know, it's just wanted 22 quid to get on the board. That was literally £22 just to get on the fucking board. Let's see where it's at. If it's going through the block at this point, or if it's still pissed off with us. Oh my god. Well, that was £22 to get on the board, which was blocking at 3 quid. And that was another £20. I've had 2 boards in like 45 quid. How fucking desperate is that? Let's just see if the block is off. 2 boards in 40 odd quid. Dire. Let's see what it does here if the block is off. Cash values and nudges. Oh, don't you dare. That was 43 quid. 43 quid for 2 boards. This is coming up to now. Once these credits are gone, that is 50 quid since we got that £70 off the mega. Oh, shot! I could have held them all for a bonus. That was silly. So let's just. That is now. I'm just keeping. I've got it off screen, but you can see here. I am keeping record. So that is now £60 since we got the. Once we get through these credits, that's £60 since we had the mega off it. And this is on a machine that's on an 84% payout. Let's just see if we've got the... I want to see this going through a fiver now. But another crystal clear example of why you do not want to be getting involved with this thing. And we've got plenty of shots there. I suppose we'll do a gamble on the shots there just in case it does this thing with the notes again. Oh! Well... Oh! No, if it hits a note, we've got a mega. You see there, we had loads of shots, but it just wasn't having it. It wasn't going to do it for us there at all. Reverse that useless fucking bonus. And that's our kind of mega thing gone now, because of course you can only do that once because we've now got 3 notes, and now it will never hit it naturally off a strike. It's got to be when you hit the 3rd one, because it will never hit it. Oh, I don't believe. This looks like it's still blocking, doesn't it? It looks like it's still blocking at 4 quid. And that is £60. This will be £60 of credits that it's had. And yet, still, that is... Oh, come on, let's have a look. Stopper, is that going to put me in? Yeah, so let's see if we... Well, we can't fail to get an exchange there, because it doesn't auto-collective. We'll have a gamble there just to get us the extra shot. So that's fucked now because we've landed on the 3rd note with a bad number. So the mega thing now is gone. It's got to be, I mean, not that I want it again anyway because I want to max the monster, but it's just to kind of show that it is quite specific the way that you get the little trap on the notes. You only get kind of 1 shot at it per board. Fucking hell, I think it's still blocking at 4 quid, isn't it? That is desperate. Bloomin' heck. So, God, crikey. So that's 70 in. 70 quid and we haven't even got the block off yet. How bad is that? Come on, surely we're going to get a board with the block off for £70 in. Right, so there's our... So it doesn't matter if you lose the gamble down, you can still exchange. I just want to see if we're through 4 quid. So there goes the mega thing. That's fucked now because we're on a shit number. Doesn't matter. We're not going to get the mega now. Extra cash. Let's just see a fiver. Oh my god. That is pitiful. So it has held at the top of the trail there. It didn't give me any numbers. It is. Is it going to go through £70? Okay, so that's going to put us in, isn't it? If there isn't a melon. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, let's exchange in. And see where... A good start is an 8 because that gives you a super shot. Right? It puts you onto the inside and gives you a super shot. Oh, well, we've potentially got the note set up here. If it hits a note again, it's going to... Oh, it has done! So that's interesting because it actually let's just see. Now, obviously, we have got the mega here. If you were doing the real thing, you would take the mega. I would be interested to see if the block is still... I wonder if it will be prepared to go past. Extra heart. Let's just, because I would have said that you couldn't possibly get that while the block is on. But, oh my god, it's threatening to kill us here, isn't it? That is really interesting, because it looked to me, it certainly wasn't prepared to offer us more than £4 on the board, was it? But that just showed you we could have had it there. I mean, obviously on the real machine you'd have taken your sneaky mega there, but this is 80 in now. So it just goes to show it is worth looking out for. Maybe I just had a bad run with it last night, because it didn't seem to want to do that at all. But it has done today, and by all accounts, honestly, when the block was still on, which is fascinating. It must be, I mean, it must be now. Be prepared to. Let's see. Because this is 80 in now. So I want to be seeing a... Not interested in that particularly. Oh dear, come on. Oh my word. Oh, that is just awful, isn't it? I am slightly bemused by that. God, Jesus, God. So they had 90. 90 in. Let's do that. And we just want to get a max the monster. I haven't seen a board go through. I haven't seen a board go through £4 yet. But it did offer us. It did offer us the mega there. As someone said, I think it was Logopolis said over at Desert Island Fruits, he actually said that it doesn't need to be particularly ready to do the note thing in that. And that says to me that is absolutely the case, because the machine was still on its arse and it offered the note thing there. So it just, that looks to me like it just doesn't see it at all. And that pretty much proves it, to be honest with you. I mean, is this still otherwise? We could have actually guaranteed a mega there, couldn't we? Because I've got an extra life. Oh, well, no, I would have still had to have hit a shot, but I could have potentially gone for it there. I could have hit a note off the shot, then because I had the life, I could have gone lower than the 11. And if it had lost to a 12, that would have guaranteed it. So I could have possibly had a mega there. You can see there, we are now, for fucking hell, we are now getting a £5. So that means that our £4 block is off, which is something, I guess. Oh, we've lost the life now, so we can't get... Not that we want to get the mega that way. It's going to fucking have me there, isn't it? So, on the way to... So, what I'll do now... Let's just see. Once it's gone through, it should be through. And then what we'll do now is I'll start taking count of how much it costs us to get a max the monster with the block off, because this is kind of when I would start playing this out in the wild. So I would have walked away from this machine a long time ago in the wild. But you can see how dirty it's playing. But we did get the block off there. Hold them all for a bonus. Let's see this. What's this selector offering? See, the selector's still down at 50p, isn't it? That is... Oh, you see there, just crawling over into 50p. So... Well, a very stark example of why, you know, no one's ever made the claim that this is anything other than a little bit of a, at best, a bit of a rip. There's certainly no one's ever suggested this is any kind of empty or anything like that. And you can see how it protects itself. Certainly against a Max the Monster, less so against the note, but I don't think you'd want to be trying it. Or playing for it. If it was in this bad. Fuck me. Oh my god. So, well, we did see the block come off there, so what we'll do is we'll call it at 9. I mean, it's about 85, but we'll call it block off there. And then we'll reset, because that is about the state of the machine being in that I would actually play it. Okay, so there we are, back in with a tenner, and we'll count this as the first tenor of going towards getting the max them on. So obviously what's being done here is slightly artificial, because out in the wild you would kind of be relying on people playing it, you know, kind of casual players, people who didn't know that the rip or the trick on it, and would, let's be honest, put in money to fill it up for the next time it was visited by you as someone who knew what you were doing with it. Let's just see. It's a bit of a dog-eat-dog world, unfortunately, isn't it, when it comes to AWPs? That's the evil of compensated machines. That's the problem. If you know the trick or the method or whatever it may be, then somebody has to lose for you to win. It's slightly harsh, I'm afraid. Oh, come on. Well, we are... Oh, God. Well, we've got the life. I mean, it is... Block is off at this point, so just about... And we are... Oh, come on. Don't you dare. That might have me, you know. Okay, well... We'll do it from this point. But I think that's going to be... Okay, we'll have to go back to our super-duper tracking device here. So, 20 in... Put another tenner in. But definitely you can see there the notes have surprised me. I'll be absolutely honest with you. The notes have surprised me in this video. Does tie in. I'm pretty sure it was Logopolis said over at Desert Island Fruits that it doesn't really have to be particularly ready for it to do the thing with the notes. And that has been borne out, I think, by... Come on, by what we've seen here. Oh, God, it's playing rotten though, isn't it? So... It's just not even putting me into the inside yet. What we haven't seen, by the way, is getting to the inner ring where the actual, if you dapple around those cash values there, which is what fills up the cash pot. I mean, yeah, okay, it's just about showing a fiver, isn't it? Oh, come on. Oh, for fuck's sake. This may turn out to be like that tussle I had with it in the Stanley, where it was showing a fiver from the off, but made it horribly hard work. And trawling back through the memory banks, I actually think that one was a loss. I kind of got it in my head. It ended up at like 80 or 90 in to get... Was it a flat 70 or 80? But it wasn't a fun encounter with it. Put it that way. Also, we've got the, theoretically there, if it hits a shot, or if it hits a note off that one shot, which it didn't. It's just, it doesn't like the... I mean, if we could even get into the... Okay, so we've gone up to £6 now, but we still haven't actually got to the inner ring. There we are, right, okay, now we're into... If we can hit a max the monster... Now, I always found that it was worth having a gamble just to try and knock some of that. Oh, finally, it's done the cash pot as well. Okay, might have a little bit of life in it now. Let's see what this adds up to. Oh, not great, but it has binned us. But that's the other thing about going into the middle. It can put you out to a super shot there. We're certainly not going to gamble on an 8, but I did used to have a gamble on, you know, 2. Now, that's a good one. Oh, you see there? So we'll gamble on the 11. Oh, you fucker. No need for that. So we are at least getting a shot at it now. We are, because we weren't even getting into the inner board before, were we? So we are now getting some chances at it at least. So that's theoretically there. If we're going to hit a note, if we have that one shot, that would have been the note trap. So it's just, I mean, it is just livening up a little bit now, isn't it? We may as well have a gamble on that, just on the off chance we can get a life. Just getting a little bit of life into itself now, and literally an extra life there. Oh, don't take it off me. Oh, extra cash. Can we get into the middle at least? The shots are just a complete waste of time. The normal shots, unless you're doing the little note thing. It'd be nice to go. Oh dear, come on. Oh, that was a bit harsh, wasn't it? So, we'll play down this £30. Come on, we are getting a board in a... I mean, I should fucking think so, but... We are getting in a little bit more frequently now. 10. Oh, there we are, so straight in. Oh! You know, the easiest one I ever had was... where it did that I had early on when I think they were still had some value in them. I'm sure I had it literally do that. I think you can do it off an 8 as well, because if you rick an 8, that's a skill, and you can put it into 2 super shots there. I'm sure I've got it in my head that there was one in the central where I got my pint, I went to the machine, put a few credits in, and like I'd just taken the top off me pint, and it did it like, I'm sure it was like on the first throw on the first board, it just put me in and hit Max the Monster straight off the bat, and it went for like a 95 or something like that. So that, and I was like a fiver in, so that was like a £90 raise, something like that. So they could be nice. When they were nice, they were nice. And in fairness, I had a decent run out of those 2 that I had around here. I had a pretty good run out of them. But once they've been on site, you know, getting towards the end of that 3 or 4 months on site, they had really clammed up. I don't think anybody else was really playing on them. But early doors, there was some good money in the couple that I had around here. Let's just see if we can get a chance at the super shot. I'm not even keeping an eye out for the notes, to be honest with you, because I'm determined to get the Max the Monster. Skill shot would be useful here. Skill stop, rather. So that we can get onto the... Oh, God. Is that going to have me? Fucking hell, it is as well. Little bit of a harsh one. It has held there at the top of the trail, so any numbers will put us in. It's held again. Okay, so we'll have to go now. We'll have to go 40 in. So we'll put another tenner in. There we are, another tenner. Let's see if we can get it off this one. There we are, that's a bonus. Hold them all, bonus. In we go. May as well do. It shouldn't be a million miles off now. It's not giving us that nice 8 start though. And I'm not fussed about. We've seen the notes. We've taken it once and we've seen it make it available again. So I'm not actually fussed about the notes at this point. I do just want to get that Max the Monster. So it's not put. Come on. Oh, that could have me. Oh, it hasn't. Let's just get onto the inner ring. You would normally, once it's starting to get a bit happy as well, it'll start adding up a reasonable amount in the, oh, for God's sake, in the actual cash pot in the middle there, but we're not seeing that either. I mean, it's fairly, you can see how quick it goes through your money. Oh, I actually gambled twice there by accident. No life. 8 or there's the 8 start. Now that's the. I'm sure it did this. I think it threw an 8, went into the 2 super like first board and hit Max the Monster, and I was like, oh, thank you very much. I will have that. That's great. Although it did, I just kind of had to sit. Oh, there, I just had to sit down and drink me pint. I barely take the top off me pint, and then I was like, okay, but I mean, it was the days of half decent mobile phones. Like, oh, that was a bit of a stupid gamble. Just trying to think about what phone I had at the back end of 2011 into 2012. Was it HTC One X maybe? So we were into the realms of proper smartphones anyway, so it wasn't like back in the real bad old days where if you're in a pub and for whatever reason, you know, you got in there and then found the machines were turned off or something, you couldn't play them. Then you had to just kind of twiddle your thumb. Oh, that was harsh. At least in the smartphone area, you know, you've got something that can occupy you if for whatever reason you've finished on the machines or you can't play them or whatever. So this is going, you can see there, we're 50 in now. That was a nasty gamble there on the 11, wasn't it? So we'll put another. I mean, getting these back-to-backs out of it, I think, is a little bit unnatural. It's not something that would happen in the wild. So there we are. It's doing this 8 start now, and it can, on a good day, it can hit Max the Monster off that, and it hasn't done it there. Let's see if we can land on. Oh, 2 shots. Do you want to risk a gamble on that? Because obviously, I mean, if we go lower and then we've got, you kind of have to be gambling twice. Let's try it. Fuck, that was stupid, really. Because you'd have to win it down to like a 2 or a 3, and then gamble again. There's only there's a little bit optimistic there. We should see this selector being quite a bit happier now than 50p. There we are, 150, bit happy. So where are we? This is coming up to 50 in. So there's still some money to be made. See, it's doing that start now. We might just get lucky and it might just hit. Come on, max the monster. Fuck! Not doing it. They're innocent now. I would expect this now to start adding up to a reasonable amount, you know, over a tenner or something. It'll come out, it can go out to either a super shot or a bonus. The super shot in a way, it's gone to a bonus because we're on the wrong number anyway for the super shot. Oh, now that's a slight problem. It's put that safe for us. Now, you've got two choices here what you can do when it puts a safe. You can fuck it off with, like, just take a shot. And let's just see if we can, because you can take a shot there and take, like, one win spin for a quid or something. Oh, it's not hitting. Do we want to? Thing is, if I gamble on the 9 and lose, it'll give me the safe cash, but I've also got the risk of it bidding me out through that fucking mystery there, killing me, and then you can hit death or glory, but of course you could get glory off that, and that gives you a dapple up there, and it can off the Mega Streak features, and that can be bad. That can give you 10 or 15 quid and knock it back. I'm almost wondering if I should have just... Oh, now it's going to fuck me with that safe cash. So... Oh, and I forgot. Yeah, I forgot there was the bloody repeat on it as well. So that was... I'm kind of got lucky there. What I should have done, I think, is just taken a shot and bin that off with, like, one cash. Where's it going up to? 250. So back in it. So it has full 7 quid on us there, but if I'd been a little bit smarter, I could have avoided that. Ooh. 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 That was the board from hell, wasn't it? So what we'll do is we'll transfer that over from credits, and that'll mean that we're still 50 in. So there's still the potential of getting some profit here. You can see it does seem to be... I don't say it's in a great mood, but not quite as foul as it was before. Oh, reverse, that's a great bonus, isn't it? Okay, nosed up. Oh dear. Not great, is it? So what I'll do is, see there, let me just bring in my super duper chart. So you can see there, we're 50 in. I'll transfer that 7 over. So we're still 50 in at this point. Let's see if we can get it for 50 in. But really kind of... And this also shows you, by the way, why you need to be leaving them a while. There is no point if you've done them. If you've ripped a 70 out of it, there's no point coming back the next day or depending on what the play is, obviously. But certainly around here, they weren't getting played enough to make it worthwhile coming back within a few days at least, and a week in my case, and even a week wasn't enough. But by the time they were done, even a week wasn't enough for them to recover. So we're definitely going to go higher than the 2 there. Hope for a decent... Fucking hell. But even in a busy kind of UK location, I think you can see why they would need some recovery time, and you'd need to get the timing right on them. Because you can... Look here, that's now 60 in. Doesn't feel like it's close to being forced though, does it? But can also see if it doesn't... I mean, it's had plenty of opportunities where if it was prepared to shoot it, it easily could have done, and it hasn't. Extra shot is of no use to us. And back in, so we can... So we get... See there, we're quite happy that it's... off in that I think every board now has been offering 5, 7, 8 quid, hasn't it? You can find the starts adding up pretty high. Oh, it hasn't done. So we could do, if we were really lucky, it could hit a max the monster there, which it hasn't. That would have done us because it was on an 8. Stopper. No use to us. No, back in here. And the issue with getting a cash is that it can give us the save cash, as we've already seen. If it does that to me again, what I'll have to do is just... Oh, fuck. He says, is it actually really playing the dick here? I'll risk... Oh, shit, that was stupid. Oh, extra cash, and we're back on the outs. I think at this point, we've just got to try and mug it off. We don't want to get fucked off with that. Fantastic. I don't actually know what that is, to be honest. Oh, it's gone up. Catch the cash. So let's have... I don't actually know what catch the cash is, but... Oh, dear. Catch the cash. Can we fuck this off with... First offer. Well, we'll... Fine, we'll collect £2. It's better than getting £8 with the threat of a repeat chance, isn't it? We don't want that. Because we have seen its willingness to use that save cash. But it's not making light work. Oh, there we are. That's in for a super shot. Fuck me. Really dire. Back in again. This really feels like that horror show that I had in the Stanley with it. Going for it when it wasn't really ready. Come on, we've got a chance there. We'll gamble on the 11. But obviously we don't want to hit it on that, because there's no point hitting it on a 5. We're just trying to get rid of some of the shots there. 2 shots is no good. Do you gamble on it? Could you even make a case for gambling on a 5? I don't know. 9, now come on. Come on, max the monster. Oh, you can really see it avoiding it here. This is bullshit. Come on, you fucker. Don't really care about numbers. But that's... Oh, look at that. We're up to a tenner there. Oh, bollocks. Oh, that's going to have me in it. Bah. Real tech. We'd knocked out most of the stuff there, hadn't we? And it still wasn't having it. So, it knows it's there, doesn't it? It knows if it wants to shoot it or not to an extent. But I personally still think, we'll go in for the shots and then we'll try and gamble on the 3. I personally still think that this is a kind of little, you'll get this before it'll let you force it. Fucking diabolical. So we're back in. Come on, let's get it on this block of credits, because this is 60 in. You know, this is where on the real thing you're thinking, come on, can we just get away with a little bit of profit on this, you fucker? Come on, let's hit it. No, it just won't do it. Fucking bastard. And then we're back out. Jeez. Extra symbol, no use to me. Can't do it. Okay, so do we want to go in on 2 super shots and then risk a gamble on the 4? Fuck it, let's do that. Higher than a 4. Oh, no. 7. No, we're not going to go higher than the 7. Oh, there's potential there. Oh, no. I thought... I wouldn't have taken it, but I just would have been interested to see if it had let us have a little rip on the notes there, but it wasn't doing... Come on. Fuck me, that's going to... Oh, there's a surprise. Okay, we're back into the middle. Where's that going? Oh, and straight back out. Oh, dire. You cockwomble. Fucking... Right, okay. So we're now going to have to go. Look at this. 70 in. 70 in. So our profit at this point really is they tend to only go for 85, 90. I'm trying to remember, honestly, if I ever had one of them go for more than 100, but I'd be getting a little bit itchy on the real thing here, thinking, come on, because we're potentially just at money back at this point. Come on, let's have a shot on Max the Monster. No, really is avoiding it. And then we're into the middle, which is not great, to be honest, because then we run the risk of getting save cash when it bins us back out. don't hit, not safe cash. Skill stop, so I'll go for 2 super shots, then fuck it, I'm going to risk a gamble on the 4. We'll gamble on the 4. Oh! Yes! Yes, there we are. Fucking hell, there we are. Max the monster on you fucking thing now. See, I mean, what do you think? I think this machine was still... Oh no, it timed out. It timed out. I pressed, just as I went to press collect, it timed out and went back to the fucking main game. What happened there is I went to press the collect button and it kind of like went, okay, oh, you don't want to collect. Oh, it doesn't really matter in a way because fucking yeah. So lesson there is collect it quickly. It did it there, but the point I was just making, I should have made the point after I'd collected it. Let's just see if it'll give it again. That was so annoying. Oh, what? That was a pretty harsh timeout, I thought. So you'll be getting some... How long is it going to want now? Oh, God, I didn't realise it had such an aggressive timeout on it. Will it let me do that again? 6 super cash strikes. What's the chances of getting another shot on that? Because the point that I was making was I still think this is a way off letting us force it. You know, because that guarantees you 70 quid off that. This doesn't seem like a £70 happy machine. We are getting a bit in the... Watch this, the fucking cash pot will add up to 70 quid now. Make a complete idiot out of me. It's going up a bit, but I did see it do this in the wild. You'd get 20-30 quid out of the cash pot. Oh, God, where's that going now? Is that, how far's it going to go? Oh, jeez. It will bin you out sometimes at really strange amounts. Well, this does make you wonder because you wouldn't see this in the wild because you'd have collected that Max the Monster on like super quick. And then next board it's adding up to... Where's this going to go to now? Oh my, well, this is pretty much there anyway, isn't it? Well, this really makes you wonder about the Max the Monster thing. The notes thing I am convinced by, but... Well... We'll collect it this time, but you saw there, we were up to 61 quid on the bloody... So this will get... It doesn't matter, by the way, if it's 8, 9, 10, 11 or 12. And that will just keep mashing the start button. And that will put... So, well, how much... So, hang on a minute. What did we have in there? We had £6 in the bank, didn't we? So, it's going to go to 76. 76 is where the credit break is going to be. And what you'll see now, by the way, is the worst mega streak ever. For starters, you've got to... It's not one that does itself. You've got to hit yes, no. And just look at... So it will do it in 50p's and pounds and £2. If you're lucky, it'll put a tenner in there. It'll give you 2 lines of melons. Oh, there we are. 2 lines of melons or a line of 7s. But it is also quite happy to add it up on fucking 50p's and £1. There we are. So you kind of get your money's worth. In fact, thinking back, when I had that one that just went straight away before I'd even touched my pint, you can drink, if you get a crack on, you can drink most of a pint. Just press the button with one hand and drink your pint with the other. And this mega streak takes so long to do. If you get a crack on, you could actually drink most of your pint. So that does give there some credence to the fact that Max the Monster is not a million miles off it being ready anyway. Because we saw there something that wouldn't happen. No, it looked to me on the board where it first offers us Max the Monster and I missed it, that it was a long way off. It wasn't feeling like a machine that was going to be offering 70 quid anytime soon. But then on the very next board, we saw the cash pot get up to 61 quid. I don't know how much further it would have gone. I mean, it did bin us out, didn't it? Binned us out on 61 quid. Whether or not it would have put us back in and climbed out to 70. But that would only guarantee you 70. It's 70 plus repeat chance, which doesn't ever repeat as far as I can tell. So It's possible that we'll get more out of it. The other thing is that this is a very unnatural state for this machine to be in because it was being kind of forced out back to back. I personally am still of the opinion that on a machine that was getting a reasonable amount of casual play, the Manic Money Monster sort of on an 8, or Max the Monster rather, on an 8 or above, was a little bit of a shortcut. I do think it was a shortcut to getting it out, but the machine did need to have some value in it. And you could see there, we had a really good example there of how crappy it can play when the mood takes it. And just block it or not allow it at all. So we are going to get up to 76 here. That is going to happen. A long time for this Mega to... So that was 70 in, wasn't it? So I'll just show you my... just to remind you, from the block coming off, it took us exactly 70 to get that. So if this goes past, if it does a bit more than a flat 70, there is going to be a little bit of profit in it. So this is still carrying on. Remember, we had £6 in the bank, so this is going to go up to 76. And then we'll see if it credit breaks or not. Oh, God, 50p's for fuck's sake. It wouldn't be so bad if it just did it by itself and you didn't keep having to press start to get a yes-no. I wouldn't mind so much. Because the beckons do some, or certainly the earlier beckons did it on smaller amounts. So we've got cherries there for the 76. And now we'll get, it's just the pressing start yes-no all the time that gets slightly annoying. And it has gone on, but don't get your hopes up. It's probably going to do 85 or something like that. So that's another 2. Oh, that's another 250. 250, that's 1250. We'll know when it's finished because it'll collect the bank out, won't it? That's 1250, that's 1350. That's 1450. I think it's going to do cherries and it's going to finish off at 85. That's my feeling here. I think that's going to be it. 85, that was what it liked to do. Oh, it's gone on. That's quite good. So that's 85. That's 87. I think I've got the counting right here. That's 89. $89.50. Cherries again for 90. That's a possibility. That could be it there. 90. Oh, there we are. It did actually collect the bank out. So there we are, 90. It did like to do them 85s and 90s. So we just about. So I mean, I would. It's worth sometimes going out to the next board. Could sometimes have a cash point. Let's just see if there's a cash point, like a £10 cash pot or something like that out the middle. Sometimes happen. Oh dear. Oh. Back to £2. So we'll collect that out. So we actually, it actually collected something out of the bank there as well, didn't it? We're not going to have short-term meters, so I think it auto collected. Was it about 20, 25 out the bank? So I think we got about 95 out there for 70 in from the block coming off. Slightly inconclusive on Max the Monster. Certainly on the notes, I am pretty content now having seen that there, that the notes definitely one to look out for, and definitely a little bit of a rip that's possible when the machine is a way off paying a jackpot. Max the Monster, I would still err on the side of it can get you a mega out of the machine. You know, we saw it there, it did a 90. I'm not entirely convinced it would have done that by normal means, but we also saw there that it will block it. You saw we were knocking out just about everything. But be interested to hear sort of comments, experiences on this one. There's a thread over at Desert Island Fruits about it, or leave a comment on this video for what your experiences on this were, because I'm not entirely sure what the exact thing that's going on here is. I'm glad I saw the note rip. Max the Monster, I would still personally be on the side of it's one to look out for because it is a little rip, but the machine has to have some value in it. But I'm going to wrap this one up here. Really glad that this one is emulated. Thank you to all of those people in the thread over at Desert Island Fruits. He said, there we are. Thank you to everyone who made this one happen. It's an interesting machine, certainly. It is one to have a play about with. I would suggest you download it and have a go with this one yourself and see what you can work out for it. Maybe get some casual style play through with it, and you might see it just give you a Max the Monster a little bit more naturally than it did there. But I'll shut up here because we've been going on for a while. So thank you very much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll catch up with you next time. But for now, as ever, it is goodbye.